it's Jordan Early here with Corey Hemp. This is another edition of Office Hours from American Wholesale Hemp, and we are excited today to have Corey on. There's a multitude of things that we can talk to him about, so I'm going to introduce you here soon. First of all, I do want to talk about Green Grow Fest coming up soon, so I don't want to neglect that when we get all excited. I hope to see all of you out there. We have Blue Magic as a key sponsor. Blue Magic has blown us away over here at American Wholesale Hemp. We're so grateful for all the farmer support, for all the wholesale support, for all the advocates and patients that have supported us through this research, and then now the actual launch and sale of Blue Magic. As you know, we have Pure Canaceuticals, Sativet, Identify, all our brands that we're always excited to share when new things happen. If you haven't heard or seen about the 30 mil instead of the 60 mil PCRX line, if you have any questions, all you have to do is call. But in the meantime, let's talk about Corey. Corey, I met you when you were living dually in Oklahoma and Arkansas.
Yeah, 2017. Long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of fun together. We both love marketing.
Yeah.
So that helped. So we also love creative thinking and other ideas. And so my bond with you and Courtney as well was mainly through advocacy. And I loved your passion in advocacy. I learned a lot from y'all. I did the Joyful Joint magazine where you were a mentor at that time because of the success of Ounce magazine. So that's just a little bit of how I know Corey, but let's take it way back before I met you. Tell me a little bit about what happened in Arkansas, what you did for Arkansas,
Sure.
why you decided to do business here in Oklahoma.
Originally, I started a website called illegallyhealed.com, and that was a website really for different states that didn't have any kind of medical program at all, where patients were having to go to Colorado or go to California or go somewhere else and find cannabis treatment in another state or risk going to jail in their state. And we're talking kids, we're talking adults, we're talking grandmas, grandpas, pastors, legislators. All these people were going to other states or risking their own safety in their state. And so we started a website about it and started awareness about it. We started helping different states try to legalize, like Utah, and eventually Arkansas. And then we brought the program over here to Oklahoma, where we were working with advocates, doing sign-in drives, trying to get petitions signed, narrowly missing it one year, coming back the next year and doing the same thing, fighting the governor, educating different legislators, and eventually helping Oklahomans, 57% of Oklahomans at least, say yes to voting for medical cannabis, and now here we are today. We did the same thing in Arkansas, but we had to come over here to Oklahoma because the Arkansas program got stalled. And so now we're participating in this program over here. We're FICO producers and educators. We have our FICO in
Hold on.
a lot of different places.
Yes, we're going
That's
to talk
where
about
we're
the FICO. I'm going to make that more of a surprise.
I didn't get
because
that.
Oh,
Could you try again?
whoops, sorry.
Siri was
that's
not
my
invited
Siri.
to this
Yeah,
interview.
I'm sorry.
Okay. But no, I want to talk just, I feel like you could educate and make people, excited about our medical program that we have in Oklahoma,
Yeah.
comparing it to your home state, which, we love every state, but it made it really difficult to do it. You're passionate about what you knew would help people. I know you're very generous. I used to laugh with Courtney and say, y'all are never going to make money. He's too generous.
Yeah.
My husband's the same way, and everybody's succeeding wonderfully with their generosity and their community support. So I commend you for that. But will you tell us quickly before we probably break and then go into some cool stuff you have on your website and talk about your FICO? Talk to the advocates and the patients out there about the differences in Arkansas's program that
Sure.
made it more impossible compared to your likes here and about the Oklahoma program.
Well, for one, patient access is a lot different in Oklahoma and Arkansas. For instance, in Oklahoma, as a patient, you can grow at home. As a patient, you have literally thousands of options for dispensaries. I joke, but it's really not a joke. no matter where you live in Oklahoma, you're walking distance to a dispensary. And that doesn't matter if you're in Oklahoma City or if you're in Chickasha or if you're in anywhere in between, even the rural areas.
There's patient access.
There's patient access. If you can get to a gas station, you can get to a dispensary in Oklahoma. It's not like that in Arkansas. The dispensaries that are open right now are very spread out. The product selection and the options that you have as a patient from Arkansas to Oklahoma are completely different. Because of the business side or the business side of things here in Oklahoma, and the ease of access for anyone to create a business in cannabis here in Oklahoma, it's really created a whole lot of different products. And so if you look at the product selection from Arkansas to Oklahoma, even that is different. But being able to grow at home is huge here in Oklahoma. The patients are able to do that. You can't do that in Arkansas. The amounts that you can purchase in Arkansas and Oklahoma are completely different. In fact, there's a lot of Arkansas patients that come over here and purchase their medicine in Oklahoma because you can get a temporary card here.
I heard about that recently, but I'm on the hemp side, so that's why I wanted to bring you on to talk about some of our patrons and distributors that are interested in both medical as well as our for sale everywhere CBD products. And maybe we can get into a little bit of product safety here after this break. But I want to thank you guys for watching this first segment. We're going to take a little break and we're going to come back with some product education and let you know about Corey's products.
Cool.
And we're back. So sorry you had to wait, and sorry you had to wait, Corey, because I know you're just as excited about me or as me about your products. Obviously, and probably more because you've been brilliant, and man, I love his marketing. I love his packaging, and I just got to see his website for the first time, and his vision and idea to help patients be able to understand and use his FICO. So first of all, I'll tell you a quick story about me. I'm a medical patient. I like to make my own products due to maybe paranoia about testing or compliance or what I'm actually utilizing for my medical purposes with my medical marijuana card. But when I'm sick, you can ask any of my friends, I say all I want is OK Purple FICO. Now, tell me why I think and why you think OK Purple FICO is amazing and what you do to make it so.
Well, so we've been researching FICO, or RSO, as some people know it as, since 2013. We work with Rick Simpson. We work with scientists and processors from all around the world, from Spain to Israel. We've worked with Dr. Meshulam's people. We've worked with a whole lot of people, including doctors. And so we really take a true medical approach to the oil that we make. A lot of different people that make FICO, RSO, they just mix a whole bunch of stuff together. We like to focus on strain-specific FICO. And so if you're looking for a sativa, or you're looking for an indica, or you're looking for something right in between, we're going to have something for you. And also the process that we do, we share the same process, so you know. The process that goes into it, actually making the FICO, is even different. And so Beyond that, the education that we give is different because people don't know what FICO is, they don't know what RSO is, and a lot of processors, they just throw it out there. We have an entire website with frequently asked questions, with how-to guides, just to show you how versatile the FICO really is. And that's one reason why I love making FICO, is because I truly believe it's the most versatile form of cannabis that's out there. You can use it topically, you can use it sublingually, you can ingest it, you can put it on skin sores, you can put it on skin cancer. It works for cuts, it works for bruises, it works for so many things. It works better than Neosporin on cuts. And so it's just super versatile, and especially being strain specific, you can really dial in what you're looking for.
Even with RSO, surprisingly, it's not something you worry about refrigerating or keeping in a certain environment, because the properties that are in that medical cannabis actually aren't going to grow things such as bacteria.
Yeah.
So the testing's important in the first place, because once you get that pesticide and the analyticals and anything back that, or really the microbials is what I'm talking about. Once you get that testing back, you really don't have to worry about anything growing there from the future because of all the antis that are in FICO in the first place.
Yeah, it's incredible. And the things that I've seen it do, the stories that we get daily on Instagram, on Facebook, through our website, just amazes me. I talk to mothers all the time with kids with autism, where FICO is the only thing that is calming their child down. I speak with grandmas that had cancer, and now they don't have cancer anymore because they've been taking this FICO. It's incredible, these testimonies that we get, and I really live for that. Like I love that stuff.
So do you use the same dosing guidelines that RSO, the Rick Simpson protocol, whenever you're guiding your clients on how to use FICO?
The Rick Simpson protocol is reckless, and Rick Simpson and his way that he wants people to dose is not correct. That's why we work with doctors. That's why we work with professionals when we're coming up with dosing guidelines, because not everyone's dose is the same. It's different from patient to patient, and it's different from even patients with cancer. You may have two patients with cancer, and it's what are they looking for? One person might be looking to mitigate the side effects of chemotherapy or radiation. The other person might be looking for radiation and chemotherapy is not working. They just want to use the cannabis. And you may have a third cancer patient that nothing is working. They're just looking for dignity in death and some peace in their final days. And that's 3 different treatments for 3 different people with the same cancer. And so it really varies from patient to patient. What we like to do is we like to, if someone does have cancer and they really want to take this serious, we like to connect them with one of our physician partners, and have an actual consultation with that patient to see what they're looking for. And they might be at different stages in the amount that they can take. You wouldn't want to give a half gram of oil for the first time to someone that's 70 years old, because they're going to be high as a kite for days and they're never going to take the treatment again. You want to ease them into it. And they may not even need a half gram of oil. And then the different types of oil that they need or that they can respond to, because this oil has terpenes in it. It has different things in it. And someone may be allergic to a certain terpene. And so the type of oil that each cancer patient can take in that example could even be different. One might need Blue Dream, one might need cheese, one might need another one, or a combination thereof. And I'm not even qualified to talk about that. That's why we partner with different physicians, actual doctors, medical doctors, for these kind of consultations.
Well, I really appreciate you talking about that. It seems that you're truly supporting the vision of a medical program. Maybe we can talk a little bit more about REC,
Sure.
And we can also talk a little bit more here in a minute about what it means to be illegally healed.
That's fine, and I say FICO's good for cancer or a concert, so we can talk about REC too.
We can talk about REC too. But we are here at American Wholesale Hemp, and I just wanted, like I said, to make sure that the patients out there knew that we're here for your THC-free needs, and maybe learn and meet some trusted sources if you're a patient out there as well. I know me personally as a patient, I appreciate my CBD throughout the day, and I like to go home, and the only way for me to truly sleep, and the reason that I got my medical card is to take what I'm liking right now is a 3-to-1 FICO that you're offering, correct?
Yeah.
That one's actually making me wake up in a great mood and sleep through the whole night. So that one's good for me, but what's good for me might not be good for everybody else.
Sure.
So you do have a very cool website right now to educate frequently asked questions. If they wrote you, would they be able to get back to, or would you be able to get back with them to help in any way?
Absolutely, yeah. We have a contact form on our website where patients fill it out. They have questions. I just had a question come in yesterday that asked, how do we extract? And so I responded, here's how we extract our cannabis. So yeah, if you have any questions, go to purplefico.com. We also have a video halfway down on the website with an actual doctor and different dispensary managers that are talking about our FICO and how they've been using it.
Well, as Corey mentioned earlier, my husband Ryan Early is a man of many businesses, sitting in a huge passionate business that he's in right now, but he's passionate about cannabis. He's been an advocate. And so hemp is cannabis and marijuana is cannabis. And there's different the makeup of that is what makes it defined, and actually just the Farm Bill is what defines hemp as only containing 0.3 or less total THC. Anything above is going to be marijuana. So just to be clear on that, my husband knows much about cannabis. So of course there's little things that vary when you're trying to do hemp or marijuana, but it was not very hard for him to be able to consult at least in certain programs with his CBD SOPs to help us have good medicine on the other side. And I say the other side, on our partnering side of with hemp and marijuana being a blessing here in Oklahoma. So we'll be right back with you, and we'll talk a little bit more about what it means to be illegally healed.
Empire Genetics is an advanced research program set forth under the 2018 Oklahoma Industrial Hemp Pilot Program, overseen by Northwestern Oklahoma State University. A lot of farmers reach out to us. They've heard about what we're doing and are interested and want to know what they've had growing on their land since they were kids. Oklahoma is very diverse in its weather system, and so these plants have adapted over the last several hundred years to withstand that. A lot of it was brought here by the U.S. Department of the Interior back as part of Hemp for Victory. Hemp for Victory was brought about with the loom of the coming World War. We knew that we were going to have to produce a very large amount of hemp to rig the ships for their sailing, for their ropes, for their anchors, also clothing, sailors' hats, our flags, everything was made from hemp. Marijuana wasn't made illegal until 1969. The USCSA classed marijuana in with other dangerous narcotics such as heroin, cocaine, and methamphetamines. The campaign to slander cannabis began back in the 20s, mainly with William Randolph Hearst and the paper mills. Then that transgressed into big oil later in the 30s and 40s, really gained steam. By late 1937, the Congress passed the marijuana